The liar Matthew.
なんとかちゃん、ブルマちゃん可愛いよね、ドラゴンボールの。なんかミリシラなんだけど、ドラゴンボール。
But yeah, I do think
ブ
it's
ルマちゃ
weird
ん
that
可
that
愛いって
brand
こと
just
は、
continues
そいつ
without
だけが
maps.
刷り込まれている。
I think that Rooster Teeth might have been able to like
ちゃうかな。
barely survive,
Welcome to my home.
but
I'll take you on a guided
記
tour.
憶がという
according
か
to all
ね。
the articles that came out about it, it was because they
Use
couldn't
the
sell
D-pad
it
to go into the
to
music
another
room.
place and like
間違
make
って
a
たこと言
profit.
ってたらすい
So
ませんね。
I mean,
今日は思い出すたびにため息をついていました。はにゃ。かわいそうに。
R.I.P.
まあで
Rooster
もね、
Teeth.
落ち込みますよ、そりゃ。
I mean, I've heard some places were interested in picking up the shows at least, so
少なくとも鳥山明の影響を受けたコンテンツにはどっかで触れてると思う。
the
でも
shows
それ
will
くらいね、
survive. At least the
そ
ones
れ
that
くらい
haven't
偉
been
大な
finished.
人は
Press the
触
jump
れてるんだろうな。なんだろう。
But like
何
other
が
than
感じだろう
that,
ね。後で調べ
I
て
know
み
a
る。
lot of the like people who worked
Now
there
press it again and quickly press one of the directions, and I'll jump that way.
now don't have a home for their
何かに
brand
ついて。
and are either gonna have to go
なんか
independent
マ
or
マがね、
don't
ドラクエ
stop
ファンだったん
producing
だ
it,
けど、
don't
だ
have the resources,
全然い
and
つも
that's
通りでいいからね。私いつも通りだから。
からなんか、これ、
he achieved his dream of being in a FNAF movie. There's so far left to go. Nah, I mean, I think he still
な
could
んでそん
have
なことに気づいちゃったの。
accomplished a lot, and I still think he's going to
これから
accomplish
生
a
き
lot
ていく上で、
now that he doesn't have to be trapped in his closet
立ち向か
recording
わ
the
な
new
くては
theories
な
over
ら
and
ない
over
問題だよ。
throughout a
生き
week.
とし生けるもの。
Like now he can actually like do other things, which I think was one of the main
今混ざっ
reasons
てる
why
か
he wanted
混ざ
to
ってる
step
か。
back from it. But it's still just strange.
はあ、長命種の死神
He
で
was
ある。
trapped. I mean, he made a lot of jokes about
み
being
んな
trapped.
長生きして
Yeah.
るからね。
Because like recording in your closet is kind of the best place to like be. Have like a lucid recording when you don't have like when you're in your closet, you're supposed to do a really good job of like
The main hall. Sorry about that break. I'm having some conflict installed in my delivery people.
By the end, there's 4 channels.
信じなくちゃ
Technically
手があった日々をキャスターウェイ迷いそうな時必ず思いの強さが導く君が望む未来ステージ Your head 始まりはいつも突然運命を連れてゆく Time tripping night 不可能を超えて掴み取るさクライマックス変わることを恐れないで明日の自分見失うだけ誰より高く空へ飛ぼうねクライマックスじゃいいじゃんいいじゃんすげえじゃん
definitely better to have like a walk-in closet,
胸の中
but whenever I used to record in my closet,
なん
I
だっ
don't.
たらたまちゃんが
But
み
when
ん
I
なの
used to
死を
record in my
泣き
closet,
返
I
った
had like a
記
shelf
憶
in there,
も
so I
あ
would
る
set up my microphone like
ミスなティ新しい朝を待つなら今を塗り替えろここからほんの少し勇気持っていいよ旅立ちはいつも必然どうせなら飛び回れ Time tripping right 探し出すのさ自分だけのクライマックス昨日までの記憶すべて必要とわかる日が来るはず誇れるようにさらなるクライマックス
That's something I have to keep in mind for when I move boxes. I have to make sure I go to a place where they let me put stuff up on my walls so that I can sound treat my room.
丁重にお送りいたし
Certain
ます。
senpai of yours used to do ASMR in a
変な
closet. Yeah, again, it reduces the reverb. It's really good. Sometimes it's just what you gotta do, man. Technically, if you don't want to record in a closet, you could also just take a blanket and hold it like over your head and the microphone while you're recording, but that can make it hard to see the script unless you have the script open on like your phone or something.
Wow, great.
And this is specifically for recording voiceover. Obviously, you cannot like film stuff like this because you can't protect. So some people will like film the like video part separately, and then the audio will be like dubbed over in post. That's where the recording in the closet comes from. That would be nuts live. Yeah, but I mean, it might be the best way to do it if you still want to be able to like see stuff on your computer. Especially if you are like me and you have upgraded from a laptop, so you don't have a way to bring your laptop into your closet. I can't see in there. Like you're hiding your DS from your parents, except it's just like the light from your microphone, I suppose. Speaking of microphones, if you didn't see on Twitter, because I posted about it on Twitter, I got the interface, the dual interface for binaural audio. So, you know ASMR, I suppose, in the future? Question mark? Question mark? I gotta make sure I can get it to work first. And make sure that it sounds good and everything. But yeah, it's finally here. It's finally here. I got it. I have it. I am very glad. I've been waiting for this for a while. So we can be your test dummies and members? I hope so. I do look forward to testing it out in members. But yeah, I got it yesterday while I was waiting for the chance to start my afternoon. It ended up coming during that waiting period. So I was like, oh, that wasn't supposed to come until Monday. Yippee! I'm probably going to set that up later today when I don't feel crappy. But yeah, I will set it up and start messing around with it. Might do a Gorilla members stream later this week to test out what it sounds like. Excited. I don't think I'm going to do too much ASMR though. It's just not really something I envision doing a lot of going forward. But I will experiment with it at least. I'm curious to see what it'll be like. There is some smart. It's such a dopamine hit to get packages earlier than usual. I was very excited about it. You know, is Yippee coded just like Ephemera? I've been saying Yippee since before Ephemera came here. Where have you been? I've been saying Yippee for a while. I do think Ephemera kind of brought it back to life, though. Between that and yapping. But nah, I was saying Yippee way before. Way before. Okay. I wanted to try and make it to 2 hours, but I can feel myself starting to get worse. Or just like, I can feel it starting to like build. So I think I should call it here. I did at least write down the animals that I'm going to feature in our class, in our lesson. So that's something. I will be working on this the rest of the week, probably, to prepare. I think, let me check the schedule, because I put it on the monthly calendar. I just haven't made the actual, like, schedule sheet yet.
腰が
I think. Feel better, you know. Thank you. I hope I feel better too.
すごい肩凝ってるね。
Yeah. Okay. So it will be not
最近じゃないけど別に今に始まった
I
こと
love
じゃな
not
い
being
け
able
ど
to talk. It won't be next week. The week after is when I have it scheduled.
定期的に
It will be
肩を揉ん
then.
でくれる人が欲しいです。
I can't give you the time, but that's when I wrote it down. So I will make sure that it's probably going to be like the usual time slot for me.
最近腰に当てる、座ったまま
Keep that in mind,
ね、ここ
but
に腰
I
の
hope you will
クッ
look
ション
forward
を
to it.
して
Later tonight, we are going to be having a members watch along, a free event. So if you are a tier 2 or tier 3 member, you'll be able to watch anime with me. We're probably only going to watch like anywhere between 4 and 6 episodes, just to get like a little sampler of it.
揉んでくれるとお尻
I
も
hope
揉
you
ん
will
で
look
くれる
forward
し
to that.
太ももも揉んでくれるし
I hope you guys
足も
have
揉んでくれる
a good rest of your time zone,
背中も
and until I see you again,
肩のフラン
you
フラ
know
ン
to.
そうそうなんかデスクワークがねなっておりますね。全然自分いつでも揉みに行くっす。ちょっとやめてくださいよ。やめてください。なんかちょっともうちょっと可愛くやりたいけどな。反省会開いちゃおう。ちょっとね。そんなやめてください。これも違うんだよ。ちょっとふざけちゃうんですよ。肩も腰も腕ももうダメです。わかりました。じゃあやります。じゃあ片手にね、片手もみ券、肩たたき券、肩たたき券交換し合いましょう。これがたまちゃんの肩たたき券です。グーで行かしてもらいますんで、いつでも呼んでもらえれば。部屋は片付けておいてくださいね。窓からちょっと侵入するんで。お茶菓子と部屋だけは片しておいてください。コピーすんな。コピーすんな。ちょっとね、最近ね、覚えた曲歌ってみてもいいですか？最近覚えました。やっぱ自分死神なんで歌う。米君の死神っていう曲を窓ガラスを開けてパリーン。よろしくにきー。肩たたきに来たんごね。こんばんは。今日の昼投票した。ありがとう。投票してくれたの？じゃあちょっと日付が変わって3月10日の分も投票していってください。日付が変わるまで配信するんで。いや、おめえか冗談じゃない。
いい感じでしたね、バラード。これ MC 用だね。MC 用のカメラワーク。最高。
ちょっとキー覚え
up on Rumble. We are up on YouTube. What's going on, you guys? Hope everybody's having a good one. No matter what platform you're coming in on, I appreciate y'all and what you're doing, what you're into, and that you're here today. Let's see. Make sure everybody's good. Okay, cool. Got Danielle in the house. All right, so we got some modding, so we're good to go. Shout out to one dickhead. First one in the chat today was the dickhead. I don't know if that says something right. Says a lot, but well, it is what it is. We're going to get into this new lawsuit. I literally woke up today to a brand spanking new Disney lawsuit. Now, doesn't appear we have the actual complaint, but we have pretty much everything else, and also notice that they filed the complaint with the EOC, right? So we've got some basic information here on this lawsuit, on the background, on the facts that'll be there. So we're definitely going to get into this today with, going through the facts, going through what's filed, and where this lawsuit will go, because this is going to be, once again, yet another big one. And this is going to be something huge because, with Disney, there's always more going on, right? There's always more going on with their liability. They've got so much liability, but this is one that I absolutely called. I called it the other day. And so I'm always one to take a victory lap and say, you know what? Your boy told you so. But shout out to everybody here in the chat. As you're coming, guys, make sure you smash the like button, share this out. We've got about 57 people liking the video, about 200 in here on YouTube, and about, let's see, on Rumble, we got about another 25 over there. So we'll get up and going pretty soon. Let me actually send out here on YouTube, since some people may not get it, I'll just send a little notice here on the community tab, so everyone here knows what's going on here today. Guys, I wanted to stream in the AM, but I was just absolutely busy. I had so much to do in the evening. By the time I finished, it was like past midnight. I was just wiped out. So I said, you know what, I'm going to stream in the morning. And I didn't really have an idea my morning or evening. And I said, I really didn't have an idea. And there's a couple different ideas. Maybe I can cobble them together for a show. But when this comes down, like manna from heaven, Disney just gives you new lawsuits. This is how bad this company is. They just hand you content against them. And I try not to make things up, but you don't need to at this point. You really do not need to. So I'm saying, all right, cool. So this is now posted on YouTube. So everybody should know about this bad boy now. I've gotten a notification. Real quick, Night 742. What's up, brother? What is this? A stream in work hours? Madness. Yes, of course. Madness. Sparta. No, it's absolutely called for because this is something that is extremely important, and this is something that needs to be put out there, and people need to get in contact either with America First or their own attorneys if they have a similar situation regarding Disney and regarding being excluded from Disney. Anthony Barnes says, I don't have a lot of money, but I really thank the person that gifted me a membership, so I'll return the favor soon. Anthony, thank you so much. Appreciate that. It was probably, there's a lot of folks out there gifting, Is This Live, Tank Rat, Bella, a lot of folks gifting, and then now we got one dickhead. Got one dickhead ready with 10 Legal Mindset memberships, dropping those in the chat. So let me cover the one dickhead crew here. First, last, Kelly Fatella, Cherry Bombshell, Andy Dynamite, Screeper, Doll Life Dan, H011W, Yacht Captain Lance, Graham Finneyson, and Rat King. Guys, say thank you to one dick. All right. And Anthony, thank you for your super chat as well. So let's jump right into it. So for that, Claybuster, 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Clay. Coming through big, one of my OGs. Say thank you to Clay, Sheila, Nick Rector, Brezin, Licia Isaac, Whitefall, Sean Ivy, Justin, Lynn, Wrong Cranberry, Lynn Berry, Joe Moran, Gizzy G, Tracy, and Anna Saul. Say thank you up in the house. And then boom, for bringing the legal opinion so quickly. I'm not going to wait. Look, these other channels, they're thirsty to have me on. They're so thirsty. These guys are, I've already got, look, I don't want to dox anybody, but I think I can sort of show this. I've got people in my DMs. Actually, I can't show it because I have somebody sending me messages which are too hot for TV. So let's yeah, it's not dox the text right now. But I have people who text me in the morning and they're like, Andrew, I need you to come on and speak about this. But of course, I'm going to cover it on my channel first because this is a legal analysis first, and I want people when I come on other shows to be able to go back and to reference the legal analysis, because on nobody else's show, I can't give a full legal analysis on anybody else's show, whether it's even Valiant, my homeboy, Pro, Midnight's Edge, anywhere else. I'm giving them the TLDR version. So here on my channel, I try to go a little bit deeper into the law, into the facts, than I can go because I'm by myself, because I can kind of review stuff by myself, or maybe with one other friend who's here for commentary, kind of just hanging out. That's perfectly fine. Maybe it's Mexican Iron Man, maybe it's Jonas, but those guys know how to let me do the deeper legal analysis. So thank you so much, Clay. Appreciate that. Thank you, Is This Live? And then Is This Live coming through with 50 Legal Mindset memberships, starting out strong here. Thank you so much. We're already at 80 memberships. This is the quick. Okay, yesterday we set the record for the fastest 130 minutes. Now within 8 minutes we have 80. So we're literally averaging 10 memberships a minute. I mean, that's not sustainable, but that said, 8 memberships a minute. 10 memberships a minute. That's not sustainable, but it's awesome. It's awesome. I love this one. Appreciate you. This is live. Let me just read some of these names. Ren, Misty Girl, Luis, Iroxy, Rebecca, Diacede, Jizzy G, Tracy, Anasol, Ray, Lynn, what else we got here? Smoke Jaguar, we got Up in the House, Blitz Penguin, Sylvia S, Anthony Shadow, Lawful Axe, Leslie, Haven, Servant Heart, Moral Painting, Larry, and John, Alyssa, Eric, Beatnik, Magnus, and Hold My Beer. You guys all got that there in the house. Dungy Spot says, Andrew, I don't know if you found a cure for the yellow fever, but I did went to Japan for 2 months and I found it. You have to eat Asian beaverets, Harry. Okay. Thank you, Dungy Spot. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. David said, how's City Creek coming along? I got about half the art. I have to follow up with the artist, my good buddy, Western Fenman. I know his real name, so I have to think. It's still early for me, guys. It's still early. It's 9:44 and I just woke up. I know his real name, so I don't want to dox him accidentally. I'm tired. Western Penman on X. It's going good. We've got about half the art. We've got to get the special thanks done. We got to get the back half. We got to get some of the special inserts, but it's going good. I don't want to spoil anything right now. I could spoil well, let me actually, you know what? Let me do a separate stream next stream when I do my next morning stream for you guys, which is my evening. I will do like a teaser of where we're at with City Creek. So I'll show you some part of the image of what's done so far, so you guys see, right? Because some of the stuff is very, very, very good. So we should have that to you guys very shortly. Should be this month. Playbuster, 50 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Clay. Appreciate you dropping the 50. Thank you so much. Now we're at 130. So, we're even beyond that. We're 10 minutes, 130. What is this? We're setting a land speed record here. Thank you so much, Clay. Say thank you to Clay. Living on Love, Charles, Pete, Dustin, Chad, Karen, Red Stapler, Craig's Ring, Marek, Michael, Derek, and let's see, HC, Adrian, and Miko Star. All you guys say thank you to Clay, hooked you up, and there's more like Darlins, Barrett, and Lady Law 5791, Philip Sanford, Hamak, Loney R, and Stephanie Barrett. All you guys say thank you to Playbuster because he hooked you up. Once again, the OG's coming up big. The Legal Mindset Gangsters coming up big. You know what? I think that deserves one of these.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so anyways, thank you so much. Appreciate all y'all coming through big today. All right, we got weird for one thing for certain. If this goes to court, Asmongold will make over 1 million membership deep in his numbers. Everyone else made pennies compared to him. Dude, I'm going to tell you one thing real quick, and this is a very important thing for YouTubers. This is a lesson for smaller YouTubers and my comments about people thinking about bigger YouTubers. There is always somebody else. There's always somebody else that is doing one thing better than you. Maybe they're a better streamer. Maybe they make better pre-recorded videos than you. Maybe they make more money in a specific day than you. By the way, no person on YouTube holds the record every single day for most ad revenue or most super chats. That switches off every single day in terms of who's number one for example, super chats in the US, right? That number is changing all the time. Those top lists are changing all the time. You can't even stay sane. You can't do it. You can't stay number one. You can't look at what other people are doing. You have to play your game, do what you're going to do. It's about being happy, sustainable, being able to do what you do over the long run. It's not about looking at Asmongold and saying, oh man, I wish it was Asmongold, right? It's not about that, right? There's certainly things about his, the way he does things that are awesome, that are great, but the point is you're doing it the way you need to do it, not the way somebody else is doing it or trying to be somebody else, right? I've learned that too. And there's ways in which I've at times tried to do things like other people and I've realized that was stupid. I'll even give a great example. In the very beginning, I was like, well, let me just try to be the conservative version of Legal, right? And well, that shit didn't work. We're just very neutral, right? Oh, I'm going to talk about law school. I'm going to talk about neutral law topics. Well, that doesn't work. You gotta have an opinion, right? You can't do that, right? So in essence, trying to look at what others are doing, trying to angle it in a certain way, doesn't really work, right? You have to have your own voice, you have to have your own style, you do things your own way. So don't always look up because it's kind of, once again, it's a fool's errand, right? You're always going to have that in life. You're always going to have that no matter what happens, who's bigger, who's better, whatever. Don't look at that. Look at yourself and look at how you can improve and become better at what you're doing, at the game you are playing, which may be a different game than somebody else is playing, So yeah, just to throw that out there. What are your streaming plans for the April Disney shareholder meeting? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I may stream it myself. I may or may not go on with other folks, but I may stream myself. I've already had a promise from my good Mexican that if he gets the code, he's coming over here and we're hanging out. And we're doing it on my channel. So we may just stream it on my channel. And I love everybody else, but I do want to be able to. There's so many legal issues. I want to be able to have a live legal breakdown that focuses on the law because there's going to be so much coming out of this. We have a potential shareholder lawsuit. I understand that there's interest from a lot of other people and there's a lot of other channels. They want to cover it from a financial perspective and whatever else. And I will be on all those channels. I'll go on. It's Edge Pro, Valiant. I'll go on all the channels, but I think it might be better if I stream it solo and if I solo stream it. So I think that may be the way I go with the Disney shareholder meeting. If I can get access, if I can stream it, I'm probably going to do it myself. Now, that said, if I can't, then maybe I'll join somebody else, right? So we will see. Deha gives you 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Appreciate you here today. Thank you so much for those, Deha. And please say thank you all those that came in and got those memberships. Say thank you to Deha. Imprimus 310, Jam Cormier, David Del Cole, Peter, Railer 2.0, Sean Stratton, D. Bud Martin, Agrilith. Oh, what's up, Agrilith? Good to see you, bro. NAP 51D Mustang and Tom Jensen. Good to see all y'all today. Also, Junas Paltoma. All of you guys, what's up? Looking good, doing good. Teacher the way says, "How's your Latin, lawyer?" Humilitate peras. We don't learn Latin, bro. I'm not a Catholic priest. I mean, I assume that like there's something going on there, but anyways, whatever it is, cool beans. Is this live? Says to have Don timed out because he needs the record. Oh, okay, sorry. I will time him out for your super chat. Where's Don? Is Don in the chat? Where's Don? Let me see Don. He's even here. Is he drunk right now? Okay, there he is. Okay, timing out my moderator for, let's see, let's give him 10 seconds to think about what he's done today. So Don Baca, officially the most timed out moderator in all of YouTube history. There's no other moderator who's been timed out more than Don Baca. All right, so let's go where I called it. Okay, so let's start with the I told you so. Right here it is. The other day, this is on February 7th, the first day I learned about this. Right, the first time I learned about this, I posted about it, and I said this discriminatory rubric. This rubric is like a grading rubric, right? Because this is what this is. It's a hiring rubric. This discriminatory rubric will form the basis of many Disney lawsuits. Gina Carano is the start and headliner, but her hate case will open a whole new world of liability for the mouse. And here we are, literally 1 week after I said that, America First legal filed, right? And in case you guys don't know, here's the entire rubric. I'll open it for you guys so you can see it in full view here. But this is the Disney DEI rubric. Okay, so here it is, and this is what I told you is impermissible, guys. And I know a lot of other channels. I feel like when I brought this up on their channel, they kind of didn't believe me, honestly. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I got a lot of blank stares, and I got a lot of people that were like, they were like nodding, but I don't think they really bought into how bad this was or could get as worked up about this, because this is on its face illegal, right? You cannot hire, fire, promote, give extra training to people on basis of race. It just is not permissible in America, right? So this is something that when I saw 50% or more of regular or written characters, recurring characters, come from underrepresented groups, well, that means you have to discriminate against certain people. You have to. It's required for you to discriminate against certain people. When you have actors having to come from those groups, secondary characters having to come from those groups, and then you have the premise and the storytelling, which must be woke. This is what other people aren't talking about. This is requiring that the plot be woke, guys. We have proof. It's not the writers even anymore. The company is demanding that they write woke plot. This needs to get, the company itself is requiring the woke plot. Amazon requires it. Disney requires it. So now that we know that this has gone over to companies like Amazon as well, we can say, well, it's not looking good. Look, I previously was on the fence about 40K, but they're going to have to make 40K kind of woke, or it's not going to work. The 40K show with Henry Cavill, right? They're going to have to make it kind of woke. Unfortunately, now there's a way to do that. They could just have black characters in there and Hispanic characters in there, which is fine, I guess. They can all be guardsmen and they can all die just the same. There's a way to do it, but they gotta kind of get it in there. And the point is, under a rubric like this, it's not just it's the premise and the storytelling. So the theme has to be woke. The theme and the narrative has to be woke. That's the real problem. One Dickhead dropping 10 Legal Mindset memberships again. So that's 20 from the Dickhead. Appreciate you there. Give a quick shout out. Sheng Long, Rich Kurtz, Shadow 408, Gina Maria Italiano, S. Clark, Boots, Stephen Gosney. That guy's got a membership for free. Bill Smith, Jeff Inscott, Jeremy Brock. You guys all got that membership. So thank you for One Dickhead. Also, good comment. I saw Archlord Doonwriter gave a good comment here. Not super chat, so I won't highlight it, but I'll read it. Which is, I think doing it on your own gives you the benefit of asking us some questions. You're a smart guy, but sometimes we raise points that will help on any other streams. Yes, it's more interaction, right? One-on-one, I can interact with you guys. If I'm on a panel show, I'm interacting with the panel. And then the occasional super chat. But even then, other people want to chime in. They want to talk over me. They want to get their point in, which is fine. They're allowed to do that. But here, one-on-one, we can go deeper into the analysis and actually think through things. And sometimes you guys bring up good points that I need to bring up. You guys can spot facts. And I'm like, oh, that's a really important fact. That's a super important fact. One thing that's come up from you guys, for example, is I've almost forgotten about this girl. Do you guys remember this girl real quick? Remember this girl right here? This girl right here? Leslie Headland. You guys remember her? Her hanging out with old little Harvey right here? Old Harvey, the personal assistant to Harvey, who went over there to Star Wars, and who maybe or maybe not started a GoFundMe against Gina Carano, right? Which, if we discover that, the discovery will be huge. I forgot about that. Let's say Leslie Headland found out, was discovered to have been behind the GoFundMe, the anti-Carano GoFundMe. Oh boy. That'd be bad. Yeah, no, guys, I'm with you on that. That's not even just a pass. I mean, if Harvey's passing on that, yeah, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. Leslie Headland. Yeah, absolutely an embarrassment, right? And in case you don't know, oh god, and what's funny? And I love this headline here. Let me show you guys this. It's like when the anthropomorphic green creature looks better than you, it's a problem. I'm just saying. Leslie Headland, Rogan, right? Just saying. Thank you for the compliment on the headphones. These are one of my favorites. These are AKGs. They're really nice. They're really good brands. Solid, good audio performance. Lock out a lot of the exterior noise. They're very good headphones. Highly recommend them. Changer of the Way says, I think it's something Bob should learn from. Humilitate ne peras. Humble thyself, lest thou perish. Yes, Bob's incapacity of humility, so let him perish. This is something we are seeing in so many cases, and I love covering topics like these, particularly corporate hubris, because these corporations which think they can do anything and just get away with anything need to be held accountable, particularly the ones that think that they can actively discriminate against half of the population or a significant part of the population and just get a pass, right? No, sorry, you don't. I don't give you a pass. I don't let you run around and do whatever the hell you want. I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to point out where a lawsuit can be filed against you so people can get justice. They need to be brought to justice for doing things like this. They need to be called out as breaking the law, as actually being the discriminators that they are trying, quote unquote, not to be. They're actually becoming the thing that they said they were not. Kimobot Killer, welcome as a member of the RPG. Welcome. And you have access to all the emojis, members only chats, and members only streams as well. Nate 51595 says, Sea of Green. Yes, a big Sea of Green today. It is amazing. I love to see that green. That green is absolutely fantastic. We have 151 new members, like Bacardi 151 new members. This fun fact, Bacardi 151 was made because that's the strongest alcohol you can get in Florida. You can't go over 151 proof. So that was always the top end. No Everclear. I had to smuggle it in from out of state. Don't talk. Fender Zylig says, it's a great idea for a D+ movie. Mickey is stressed because Minnie wants species-affirming surgery to have her ears removed. Directed by Noah Baumbach. Oh, man. It's going to... Listen. These things are going to happen. It can happen as a Steamboat Willie version. You could use the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey and Minnie and do that if you want. Up to you. All right. So we talked about the rubric. You guys have seen the rubric. Let's get into the lawsuit. Let's get into the lawsuit itself. So first of all, we had this tweet coming here from America First Legal. We're holding Disney accountable for apparent discrimination, right? So here's the first thread, and then we're going to get into their letter. So following the disclosure of a damning internal company documents, AFL, America First Legal, by the way, this is the Miller law firm. So this guy's really come after a lot of folks who are into woke shit. So these guys were probably one of the folks I thought might take up this case pretty quickly. They filed a formal EEOC complaint against Disney alleging pervasive illegal discrimination based on race and sex. Let's see. The law prohibits Disney from using race, color, religion, sex, or national origin merely as a motivating factor for hiring, training, or promotions. Who said that immediately? That was, I mean, guys, off rip, I said it. Hiring, training, promotions. They think that, we put the little asterisk at the bottom, guys. We put the little disclaimer, because if you go back, there's a little disclaimer that talks about, you can't use this in hiring, even though it talks about hiring people. So it's weird. It's actually a contradictory document. They put a little disclaimer at the bottom. Let me show you the disclaimer real quick. Some of you may not have seen this, and it's good to refresh your memory. So you see this little disclaimer at the bottom? I'm going to look at it real quick here. I'll take myself off screen, actually. So you can see this disclaimer at the bottom that says, context is critical when evaluating if a group is underrepresented. Anyone involved in hiring is prohibited from asking candidates and talent about their actual or perceived race, color, orientation, gender identity, military veteran status, age, disability, and other legally protected categories. So essentially what they're trying to say by this is, we want you to illegally discriminate, but we don't want you to do it directly. We want you to discriminate indirectly. We want you to look at them and decide from context whether they fit this category, right? By the way, context, they're trying to say skin tone, right? The woke are trying to come up. This is what's happening. The woke are trying to come up with their new language to enforce DEI without breaking the law. This is what they know they're going to lose in court. They know it. And they're trying to come up with a little language, code words, buzzwords to discriminate without actually saying the illegal words, right? They're trying to do that very hard. Camobot says, YouTube brand account equal can't accept membership. Oh, weird. I did not know that. Well, thank you, Camobot Killer. Appreciate you joining as a member. Manually. So these guys are, they know that they can't do that, right? But they did it anyways, right? And I'm sure their lawyers told them that, hey, they can't do this, but they did it anyways. I'm sure they did it regardless. Okay, let's get over here. I got my homie, the Squid, who says, I find it interesting that just like the Bolsheviks, all these woke companies and people have become what they claim to hate. Yes, they've become the very thing they said they were never going to become in the first place. They've done that to the T. And they're only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. This is only going to get worse as time goes on because these ESG requirements are becoming more and more strict, and they are spreading. They're spreading to medium companies. They're spreading across the seas. I heard this video, and I was watching this video on Korea. And there was Korea has real problem. There's a small group. Okay, let me explain. Korea has a large group of, most people I think are generally pretty based, pretty solid. But there's a group, a small group, but they're very crazy, of feminists in Korea. And they're kind of like a cult, right? And they're really, really extreme. They're so extreme they actually believe that gay men are the worst men of all because they're men who like other men and men are evil. So the worst men are men who like other men because there's even more evil. But all men are evil, right? That's actually a real belief of this group. So there's a woman that was wearing a shirt that says girls don't need a prince, right? And I was watching a YouTube video. I said, oh, that's normal. That's been put in all the Disney movies. Every Disney movie's put that since Frozen or since Tangled or Frozen. And I go, yeah, because they've all been woke since then, right? They've all been on this juice of let's demean the men, right? Let's remove their role from society. Let's say they're not necessary anymore, right? That we can just throw them out. That society does not need men, right? and that's okay. It's not actually. And we're finding out that when you get rid of half of society, when you say, look, we don't need half of society, that's a problem for any society, right? So anyways, this was a random comment. What I'm saying is this concept tries to spread. Now, don't be afraid. I'm over here in Asia. It's not, and most people, 90% of people plus, would not agree with statements like that, but there are always attempts to spread stuff like that. Scout Inna Bradley says, does fine print help the lawyers when a bobcat says you lied? It doesn't help at all. Scout, it does not help at all, because that language doesn't protect them from shit, because it doesn't actually say, number one, don't discriminate, and it only talks about hiring. It doesn't talk about training, promotion, firing, anything else. Special treatment, which is all also illegal. Once again, the language here is right here. You cannot use it as a motivating factor for hiring, training, and promotions. You can't do it at all. It cannot motivate you at all. 0%. But a document showing Disney's Reimagine Tomorrow suggests that race, natural origin are the only motivating factor. That's why they're hiring people. And they are intentionally discriminating against white American men, Christians, and Jews simply because of their race, sex, religion, and citizenship. Actively discriminating against these groups. We got all the usual suspects here, right? Usual suspects. So there we go with that right there. All of Disney's general entertainment productions are required to comply with Disney's DEI inclusion standards. All of them. So it's mandatory. Some of the standards explicitly provide that 50% of the following jobs must be filled. Guys, I said it live. I said it live with everybody that's live on the channel. You cannot put a racial quota, okay? If you guys see anywhere else, if you see a number attached to a race or even a broad group, like saying, oh, we need people of color to be 50%. In America, that's illegal. Maybe in Europe that flies. Maybe in Australia, New Zealand. I'm not an Aussie lawyer, New Zealand lawyer. Shout out to Hayden, Aussie Overlord, or, whoever's in England, whatever, right? Shout out to those guys. But I don't have any idea what that's legal. It sure as hell ain't legal in the Stars and Stripes. Canada, who the hell knows, right? Whatever Trudeau says is legal, right? I'm sure that's not personal. But in these United States, and this is an American company, this shit doesn't work, right? This is patently on its face illegal to have a racial quota saying that 50% of a group is filled, like 50% of a job or a type of job is filled by people of color, by underrepresented people. That shit is illegal, straight up. No question about that. These jobs include regular actors, producers, writing staff, overall crew, line producers, hold on, let's go down here, director of photography, composer, costume designer, editor, right? Music supervisor. They put it on, and guys, you're exactly right here. Dick is right here. These people are unreal. To put this in writing was idiotic. This is on its face illegal. And you know what? Guys, this is why I'm not worried about the Disney lawyers. You know all those pixie dusters? Who are like, you need to be afraid of Disney lawyers. Disney lawyers are so tough. Disney lawyers are they're the best in the world. They're just the best. Disney lawyers are great. Disney lawyers are simp yes men, beta males and females that just bend their spine to anything that Disney wants. They're just yes men. They're not real lawyers. They have no backbone. They won't stick up. They won't say no. They won't say we can't do that. They won't say that's illegal, right? They'll just say, oh, whatever you want. That's all they do. Guys. Yeah, someone's in the chat. Oh, they crack down on fan artists. Oh, look at how tough Disney legal is, cracking down on poor individuals, right? Suing poor individuals who don't have the money to fight back. Oh, they're so strong, right? That's weakness. It is weakness to pick on weak individuals and to claim that as strength, right? It's like a trained fighter, right? It's like if Conor McGregor walks up to somebody who's not a trained fighter, right? Like let's say he walks up to Bob Iger and beats the shit out of Bob Iger, right? Conor McGregor. It's not strong for Conor McGregor to do that because Bob Iger's not a trained fighter, right? Now that'd be funny. I'm not saying it wouldn't be funny. It would be fun, but it's not a strength. It's not a show of strength, right? You want to be fighting people on your same level, and that's why the Gina Carano lawsuit is so great because it's going to be on the same level. They're not punching down. They're not punching into people who don't have resources. Disney winning because they have more money is not legal prowess. That's just crushing you with the weight of money, right? That's not, oh, their lawyers are so good. No, they just have money, right? And they can crush regular, everyday Americans. They can't do that to Elon. And they're not going to be able to do that to the law firm here today. So, that's just not possible. Not possible. These people are unreal. They put this in print. Yes, they indeed did. Ann Ivy said, could Disney turn around and put the blame on its legal team, claiming malpractice on the lawyers, assuming it was legal? That's not going to get them out of liability for it, Ann. All that would do is they would punish the lawyers, but the lawyers are never going to have to pay restitution for all of it. I mean, frankly, there's going to be negligent hiring, and also there's so many lawyers. It's going to be hard with your in-house legal team and your out-house counsel to pin it on every single lawyer as incompetent. That's not really an out. And from a corporate standpoint, it's not going to remove them from liability. Yeah, they could get some attorneys disbarred, right? Maybe. But does that solve their problem? No. It doesn't get them out for the remedies. It doesn't remove the damages, right? Maybe you can prove that, but also it's kind of hard. It's not easy to prove malpractice. You do need to have some evidence. Now, with certain Disney lawyers, let me be very clear, Ann, there may be proof. I don't want to say it because, once again, try not to get all defamatory up in the house here, but I will say this. With some Disney lawyers, there may be proof that they committed, maybe, allegedly, that they committed some form of malpractice. Especially regarding Reedy Creek. When you get into Reedy Creek, we get real possibility for malpractice because of what they did there, knowingly and knowing that they shouldn't have done it. It's pretty clear. Scout says, don't have worked about it, Disney lawyers. They're hiring for racism and gender. They're not the best. Yes. How can I say this? I'm just gonna say it. Okay. So I was like, how can I say this in a PC way that's not gonna get me in trouble with YouTube? I'm like thinking very hard on how to can I say this on YouTube? All of the lawyers that I know from Disney are either very ideologically left, and those are usually female lawyers, like the Swiftie lawyers, right? So you've got those that are in there that are really ideologically left. And by the way, not all Swifties are Disney fans. I know my 2 Swifties in the house getting that. But they're super ideologically left. They're usually on the track to owning a lot of cats, right? They probably already got 1 or 2, in the bag. They're either that or they are the lowest barrel of the DEI hires. So I know so many clear DEI hires at Disney. In fact, I have a friend, he's a good friend of mine, but he's not the best lawyer, extraordinarily lazy. He's a cool guy, but he straight up was told that he was a DEI hire. Like in a pretty direct way, right? It was like, yeah, we're going to hire you because we need to fill this quota, right? Because we need to hit our numbers, Now they don't, now once again, this is when this was kind of said behind closed doors and not put in writing, but I know a guy. And I think it's kind of sad when they know they're that person, right? They're like, I don't want to work that hard. I'm like, okay, cool, But once again, you get what you deserve. You reap what you sow. Don't insult Mexican Iron Man. Sorry, Mike. Brandon the Anime Guy says, bring the rat to heel. Pixie dusters go away. Speaking of fun stuff, watching Record of Lodos War for the first time. So good. God tier. First time, Brandon? First time. Shame on you, sir. You call yourself a weeb. You are a shame to weebs everywhere. I cast you out. I exile you. That's a Shogun. The legal weeb set. No, I'm joking. You're a cool guy. You obviously have your anime bona fides, but you sometimes have to catch up on the classics, right? In Record of Lodos War, certainly one great anime. Look forward to the next anime stream. In fact, when I give it a break, I will do my next anime stream because I just need to chill and anime and chill. Is this live says you only blame your lawyers so much. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. Yes, ignorance of the law is not a defense. This is very, very true. And a lot of people think this is a defense. They think, oh, I didn't know the law. Well, guys, if you didn't know the speed limit, can you still get pulled over for the speed limit? Does that cop hand you the picture? And what's up, Patrick? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you hanging out. Man. Missed you. XOXO. Does that cop still hand you the ticket when you are speeding? Yes, of course. If you're driving drunk, do you get a ticket even if you didn't know that wasn't okay? Yeah. We get in trouble a lot for crimes we have no idea are crimes. We have no idea they're crimes, and we get in trouble. It's normal. That's not a defense, right? So, sorry, it's not going to work. One dickhead says they're lawyers with an HR degree. But guys, what I have to show you, how can I show you this without causing trouble? The Florida bar now requires diversity credits. So I just did all my CLEs. CLEs are continuing legal education credits, right? So actually, I can't even get to it right now. I have to access my VPN. See how annoying this is when you live abroad? Let me show you guys real quick. I have to deal with this. Look at this. I can't even get to my Florida bar website. I have to use my VPN to get to it because they don't like people accessing it abroad. God forbid a lawyer travel or live abroad. Oh my God, so horrible, Florida bar. But anyways, there's a CLE for essentially a woke CLE. Like you have to take an ethics, like a diversity CLE. That's a thing now. They got a technology CLEs, and I was like, that was annoying enough. But anyways, another thing, Frank, happy birthday to you, Frank. Frank's, you're celebrating my 69th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Let me play you a special happy birthday for T-Launch.
But go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Just kidding. Hey, Frank, I love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. We have fun on this channel, and we like to poke it around. You're doing great, man. Thank you so much for joining in. Appreciate all the members out here, and appreciate all y'all on this channel. This is the only channel where you're gonna hear "Go fuck yourself" as a birthday gift. You're welcome, Frank. Wish you much happiness in your life, and man, I hope I can get up there. 69 years, man. I'll be happy to make it that far, right? If the mouse doesn't assassinate me, if the goofy assassin with a 50 cal Barrett doesn't take me out, then I'll be happy. If I make it to 60, I'll be good. Curtis says ignorance of law is only valid for cops. QI. Yeah, it's only for cops. You know what, Curtis? You're right. And I'm not a fan of qualified immunity, but I do understand that, hey, cops need to do their jobs. Qualified immunity is a complicated topic. It can be abused. There's possibility for it to be abused. So let me go on here and let's get to the letter. Oh no, wait, no, let's finish this and then we'll get to the letter itself. Productions can also comply with inclusion standards by promoting members of underrepresented group, creating jobs to facilitate union eligibility for members of underrepresented groups, facilitating a substantial year-over-year increase in members of underrepresented groups as directors. So what this is a backwards way of discriminating. So they're trying to make the unions discriminate on their behalf. They're trying to make them into their agents of discrimination. In addition, the leaked FAQ on Disney's inclusion standards describes the broader plan to increase training and development opportunities for members of underrepresented groups in a racially exclusive manner. Let's look at this real quick here. The DGE standards. The DGE standards are a set of guidelines aimed at improving the inclusion of underrepresented groups both on screen and in creative leadership and below-the-line positions on DGE productions. The standards also aim to increase training and development opportunities for members of underrepresented groups and to enhance DGE's engagement with underserved audiences. The problem here is they're looking at hiring. This is about hiring, right? And trying to hire preferentially, right? Preferentially across the board. So Disney admits that an example of inclusive hiring and employment practices is improving access to training and development. Once again, training and development can be a discriminatory act, right? By training and developing woke folks, that is a discriminatory act. Only, right? Exclusively, to the exclusion of others. Self-reported workplace demographic data shows it is aggressively engaged in illegal race and sex-based workforce balancing, with immutable characteristics apparently serving as a determinant factor in at least some of its employment and contracting practices. For example, from fiscal year 2020 to 2021, the percentage of Disney directors identified as people of color grew as 6%. This is an arbitrary group. This isn't even a real group. The worst thing about this is, it isn't even a real group. Because listen, back in the day, let me explain. Back in the day, they justified African-American projects like desegregation, like busing. They justified those based on historic harm to African-American communities. And there's a point at which all of those practices had to end, and they didn't, right? To a certain extent, under the old regime, right? But this, they're lumping together people of color. What the fuck does that mean? Everybody is a person of color. We all have color. It's a discriminatory label. Everybody has color. What does that mean? Not white? Well, does that exclude Asians? Because Asians are more white. There's Asians that are more white than me. I went on a date the other night with a girl that's far whiter than me. Far whiter than me, right? So what does that mean? What does that prove? What does that show? This right here, and using these characteristics for hiring and firing, not okay. Here we go, once again. Looking at scripted, this is representation, right? So this is in directors, and this is in series regulars. Look, 49% people of color, 51% white. 47% women, 51% men. Or sorry, 53% men. Right? Writers, 67% white. Uh-oh, gotta change that. 66%. How dare that match the statistics in America? How dare that match the actual population? How dare that match the actual profession? How dare that? Men, 57%, women, 43%. Wow, how dare they? Representation by race. 47% white, 27% Hispanic, 8.1% black, 7% Asian. 2.4%, two or more, 6% Hawaiian, 0% Alaskan. Actually, I think that's overrepresented. Let's look at hold on. Let me just do this real quick. Demographics. Let's just do this real quick. Let's just do this real quick. Let me remove this for a second. I'm pretty sure that's overrepresented. Let's not. I don't want to speak too soon here, but I'm pretty sure that's overrepresenting the. Yeah. Pretty sure. Let me make sure I'm reading the right thing here. This is okay. That's verse. Let me just do it here. Make sure I'm getting everything. Let's see. Let me just go by race because I want to make sure that's okay, here we go. Quick facts. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to use this. This is just general. Once again, I don't assume this is accurate, right? 100%, but probably semi-accurate. So right now, what do we got? We got talking about race here, right? From census.gov. Okay, 75% white. Okay, so let's go back here to this. 47% white. Well, that doesn't work. Well, that doesn't add up there, right? That doesn't add up. Let's see Hispanic, right? So white alone, not Hispanic is 58%. So 58% is white alone, not Hispanic, okay? So non-Hispanic is too low. Whites are underrepresented. Hispanic is 19.1%. In their labor force, it's 27%. So they are actively discriminating against white people in favor of Hispanic. Continue. Black, 13%. Let's go back. Okay, 8%. A little low on that. Asian, 6%. Oh, they're a little low on that. They're a little overrepresented there. So they're actively discriminating for Asians and Hispanics against whites and blacks. There you go. And let's look at Native American and American Indian. That's probably pretty close. American Indian is, whoa. Am I reading this right? Am I smoking crack here? 1.3%. Okay. Native Hawaiian is 0.3. So going back to that, Native Hawaiian is overrepresented in Native Hawaiian, discriminating against American Indian. Look, no workplace is ever going to be perfect. No workplace is ever going to mirror this. And the second you get into this game, it gets crazy. But prize, and the stupid prize is the lawsuit. They're playing a game. I'm sorry, I said something in the chat. I'm going to assume legal mindset is always smoking crack. It's one of my old sayings, right? That's one of my old sayings when I was growing up. Like, all my friends would just be like, you're smoking crack, bro. And I'm like, what? So it stuck around. All right, let's continue with this. So the percentage of individuals identified by Disney as Hispanic has increased by 1%. The largest increase is for a category labeled not disclosed, which grew by 3.2%. Because Disney is not transparent, knowing precisely what the aggregated data means is impossible. For example, it's possible that some individuals who were formerly identified as white or black are now identified as not disclosed to support the claims that race, color, and sex are a motivating factor. Finally, Disney maintains an illegal grant program, which funnels $25K to quote-unquote underrepresented directors, which funds only women, AAIP, Black, Native, Latinx, LGBTQA, disability, and religiously marginalized. So that is discriminating against Christians and Jews. Right? Religiously marginalized, right? America First is unrelenting in its fight to stop, so they filed the complaint, which we're going to read the actual letter here in a second. But there we go. That's the basics of the of this case, right? The very basics of that case. Squid says you don't understand. They're just trying to bring the golden ratio of 13 doing 50 into the workforce. Oh man, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to go by these quotas, to live by these quotas. And once again, you live by them, you die by them. And I'm always going to fight against that sort of thing. It's on its face ridiculous. And even for the folks that are, of those categories, it's demeaning to them. Why not just hire somebody who's capable? There's plenty of capable black lawyers, right? Clarence Thomas, shout out to my homeboy. Clarence Thomas, bro, that guy is beyond qualified. Like, once again, there's plenty of people out there. You just don't want to acknowledge them because maybe they don't have your views, right? Maybe they don't support your company. Maybe they have some balls and some backbone, right? Maybe that's why you don't like them. All right. Let's get into, I just laughed. You guys have been killing me in the comments. By the way, shout out to Rumble. 138 over there on Rumble. Please smash the pussy over there on Rumble. Also, shout out to everybody who's on Locals. We got some folks over there on Locals as well, which is just absolutely having fun. Let me also do a reading of the Rumble rants because I got my homies at Rumble real quick. So here we go. Rumble rants. Let me read this out for a second. JDE Corey says, a conservative legal eagle. Why would you want to be compared to a dumb and gay lawyer? Also, be your own judge. Judges are dumb. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, JD Corey. The saying is to make up your own mind, including overriding what a judge says, because judges might be wrong, right? So you should, at home, do your own research. And my goal on this channel, the reason why I say be your own judge, it's not that I want you to role play or cosplay as a judge, although if that's your thing, hey, I'm not shaming you for it, right? You want to put on the robes? That's your thing, man. You do you, right? It's your journey, as my friend Ben says. But with life and with information, you should be able to sort things out yourself. So what I want to do on this channel is educate all of you so you can find the information yourself. You know what made me really happy? I had 2 different folks who reached out to me and said, hey, Andrew, thanks for showing me the property appraiser's website and how to look up properties, because now I'm doing research on properties on my own. That's what I want to do. I want to show you guys how to analyze this, how to think about that. So if you look at something, you're already knowing the questions to ask. You're knowing how I would ask them. You're knowing how a lawyer would ask them, right? And you're asking those questions. So you don't need to rely on anybody, even me, right, to give you that analysis. You can do it yourself if you need to, and not just in the legal context, but in a broader context of asking the right questions. So that's my goal for you guys, to be able to ask the right questions, to get what you want from the news, to get what you want from business, to get what you want from life, right? That's what my channel has always been about and will always be about. One Dickhead says, gives 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you much, One Dickhead. Kurt FJ, a Scout and a Bradley, Brittany Paris, Michael Colastello, and one last one. Who is that? Lower Lips Liquor Bro. Okay. All of you guys got memberships courtesy of One Dick. And say thank you, because One Dickhead is certainly not a dick. Let's continue with the second Rumble rant here, which is, I can't wait to see Andrew's reaction to the Oscar requirements, Disney getting that fanny treatment. But yeah, no, it's bad. It's real bad. I'm gonna be reviewing much more. In this channel, look, we focus on Disney. Obviously, I am the Disney Legal channel. This is the Disney Legal News, right? Period. This is the channel for Disney Legal News. We'll always be here first whenever it's something Disney, but I will cover other topics as well. And I know there's others that some people, even my old followers, I know who you are, Senpai notices you, that say, hey, I don't like Disney that much, but I like you, but I don't like Disney that much. So I like when you cover other topics. And cool, I'm still going to do that, guys. I'm still going to do that. But Disney is still going to remain the primary thing because I know the most about it. I have the facts, I have the law, I have the background in the case of Reedy Creek, and in most cases of being a corporate counsel, it's just my jam. Disney's my jam. It just fits. I can talk about it with a fluency that honestly no other lawyer on YouTube can talk about. I've listened to other lawyers, and look, some of them make up some good points. But as a comprehensive fact, every time I listen to another lawyer on Disney, I can kind of usually point out, okay, they're missing a fact here. They're missing some other piece of the law. They're missing how this plays out in the long run. They're missing the PR angle. They're not looking at it holistically, and that's what we try to do on this channel. Is This Live for 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. We're almost at 200 here with memberships from Is This Live. Thank you so much. And also we have 5 from Crimlon here. Let me read out some of these that have been hooked up by Is This Live and Crimlon. DJ Jeeves, Archangel, Mike Pope, Some People, Space Cadet, Dragon Master 360, Camel, Nathan C, Hellpike, Johnny Davis, Bantha Salesman. Oh, I love it. How much for a Bantha? Bantha Salesman. How much for a Bantha, bro? I'm in the business. I want to Need that pimped out ride. James Fuqua, Matthew Hunter, Bobby's Enterprises, Goji the King, Blitzen, Steven Salzer, Astral Chain. Happy defense. Appreciate you guys. I'll say thank you to these guys. They hooked you up big time. That's both Is This Live and Criminal. So I'll say thank you to both these guys because these guys are ballers. You know, Is This Live hooking it up big, but I appreciate gifts big and small. Five is more than generous. Did you see Bob's video on Disney saying he needs comments on Hand 6 on January 6th? Yes, we played that on the last stream, Scout. We played on the last stream. Maybe I'll play it again, but I played that I think last time. It was one of the Chris Rufo videos. But yes, there's actually an additional video which I'll play. I will play towards the end here as well. Okay, so I think we got the Rumble rant. So let's go over to this article, which we'll read real quick. I want to burn through this article, and then we will get from Breitbart, and then we'll get to the letter that they wrote. So from Breitbart, Disney hit with a federal civil rights complaint over DEI alleges discrimination against white men, Christians, and Jews. They're hit with a DEI complaint saying they're unlawful. The group cited publicly available documents published on Disney's official sites, as well as leaked official internal documents leaked on X. Thank you, Elon. Right? Thank you, Elon. Showing how executives have made DEI a central part of their hiring practices. And what I love is we are now associating DEI with discrimination, which is perfect. It is sad and tragic that a company whose name was once synonymous with wholesome and charming childhood fantasies is now dedicated to spreading divisive bigotry. We urge Disney to cease and desist its unlawful and destructive conduct at once. These quotas, these de facto quotas, violate employment law. Boom, that's it. It's as simple as that. Quotas are disguised as diversity and inclusion policies, but in some cases they list actual percentages, actual hiring quotas when it comes to hiring its producers. Among the quotas is a 50% quota for TV series directors that must come from underrepresented groups. It is patently unlawful to consider race, ethnicity, or sex in hiring, training, compensation, and promotion. Decades of case law held that policies that impose race balancing and quotas in employment, training, and recruitment, such as those presented on Disney's websites, are prohibited. This document was listed on, there's also a separate document that was published by Elon on X that was in part of the FAQ, which shows their intention to increase training and development opportunities for members of underrepresented groups based on its own public admissions. They told on themselves. Disney is knowingly and intentionally violating civil rights law. That is the article, right? Now, Nick Alleman says, I'm all about the truth. Thank you for your honesty and knowledge regarding the Disney fiascos. This will be great material for comedians in 10 years. Dude, we're going to be laughing about this. And I hope that, by the way, I hope that in 10 years, Disney's ship can start to correct. I do hope they can get back in the right direction. I would love that. I am skeptical it will happen under Bob Iger. And honestly, we may need some really tough economic times to come to end us in a situation where we purge out all of these DEI wokesters and we kind of purge that out. Or maybe the AI comes along and replaces all of these jobs, which is, by the way, I mentioned this theory last time, but I do have a theory I'm sticking by, that this is a 3-step process, that they're replacing competent, skilled employees with incompetent DEI hires. And then the incompetent DEI hires, because they can show an objective productivity of near zero, they'll be replaced by AI. Now, AI can't compete with a very competent employee, particularly an employee that's really doing their job, right? Especially in certain areas. Some areas, sure, AI can come in. But a lot of areas, critically thinking areas, they can't replace them. But a lawyer, for example, a lawyer that is on his job cannot be replaced by AI. It's not possible. But a DEI woke lawyer that is not doing anything but copy and pasting what Bob Iger says, AI can replace that. So AI can replace a woke lawyer that is incompetent and not skilled at their job. Cannot replace a competent, knowledgeable lawyer that can synthesize the law and come up with good long-term solutions, good advice, and be able to navigate things in a very thoughtful and critical way. AI can't do that. Can't do it yet. Could be a paralegal, maybe. AI might be able to replace your paralegal or your secretary, but it cannot replace a lawyer yet. That's good. A shitty lawyer, yes. Transarian fraud. And by the way, guys, in case you guys don't know, the practice of law has evolved into a lot of shitty lawyers. A lot of shitty lawyers are no better than secretaries or paralegals. In fact, for most lawyers, if you're not that talented, it's better off you become a paralegal. You'll incur less debt, you'll make more profit, and actually there's a big need for paralegals. So because people don't want to do that type of work, but they still need those sort of folks. So there's a big market for that. For a lot of people, they'd be better off being a paralegal than a lawyer. They just want to hang that degree on their wall. Say, I'm a lawyer. Okay, well, cool story, bro. But you might be better off financially, fiscally, if you weren't a lawyer, because you're just a glorified secretary. Transarian fraud says Disney already damaged their employee base by DEI. Yeah, and they've already purged out a lot of the good people. I'm going to bring up a tweet by one of my good friends here, Josh, later, when he talks about, because he had to leave Disney, he got purged out of Disney. I'll let him describe it. I don't know whether he's ever talked about it, but specifically how they purged him out was pretty fucked up. But they've removed a lot of their competent employees for woke hires because everybody needs to be speaking the party line. You speak up, you're axed. Vander Xyley. If you remember the new replay again, welcome as a member. Thank you for that. Welcome. Nomad says if corporations are classified as people by Citizens United, then why do they not face a death penalty, i.e. revocation of their business license when convicted of criminal negligence? It's not how it really works. And since a corporation can just be created again, right? It's kind of easy to just transfer your assets to a new entity. So that I get what you're saying, Nomad. That'd be a cool thing. We don't have that. It doesn't exist, right? It would be cool. And I think it'd be for the PR aspect of it, it would be freaking awesome. But I do worry this would be misused and abused against conservative companies in woke states. right? They're like, well, until you guys get rid of the death penalty, we're going to sentence your corporations to the axe. Like, this is going to, lawfare is a thing. And I don't want to give attorneys, or especially state attorneys, especially George Soros funded prosecutors, criminal prosecutors like Thomas Binger, right? In the Rittenhouse case fame. I don't want to give them the power to just destroy corporations or companies, even large or small, because they'll go out there they'll go out there for the My Pillow guy, right? They'll go out there to destroy his company. They'll go out there for every single company they ideologically disagree with. So I don't want to give too many tools to those guys because I know they'll misuse them. But you could just start a new corporation. There'd be nothing to stop you from that in corporate law. Corporations kill themselves and rebrand all the time. Corporations literally declare bankruptcy and start new all the time. I help some people do that. Let's just say that, right? It's happened. Legal Vices, shout out to Legal Vices. I was on a show the other day. Legal Vices, you got to come on my show next. I'm going to wait for a good topic for you. I think we got to talk. I think I got to bring you on for like a Korea specific episode because we need some Korea education up in the house. But yeah, Fluffer 2004. Yes. All right, let's get into the letter. So here's the letter. Here is the basis for a lot of this is essentially the complaint, quote unquote, that has been filed by America First Legal. So here's the real beef, right? It's only been an hour in, and we're getting to the beef. This is the actual letter that was sent to the EEOC, showing the evidence, right? Providing evidence that they believe is evidence, facts they believe will be turned into evidence at trial, of unlawful racial discrimination, also religious discrimination, by Disney. So here we go. Here it is, the letter from America First Legal regarding the Disney discrimination, the complaint to the EEOC. So February 14th, 2024, written to Cristina Park Gonzalez, director of the EEOC in their LA office. This is an investigation request of unlawful racial discrimination by the Walt Disney Company. Dear director and attorney and regional attorney, the America First Legal is a national nonprofit organization working to protect the rule of law, due process, and equal protection. We write pursuant to 29 CFR 1601.6, an organization requesting the issuance of a commissioner charge for an inquiry into an individual or systemic discrimination related to illegal employment practices of the Walt Disney Company and its subsidiaries in violation of Title VII. An unlawful, and by the way, let me explain. You have to go through the administrative process. You have to exhaust the administrative process before you sue for civil rights claims. So you have to, under Title VII, go through this, get approval of the EEOC before you go and bring the claim. It's a condition precedent. It's a requirement before you go in. So this is what's going down with this. They're going to the EEOC first to exhaust this administrative remedy. An unlawful employment practice is established when the evidence demonstrates that a race, color, religion, sex, or national origin is a motivating factor for any employment practice. 24 U.S.C. 2000. Here, Disney they admit themselves. This is what I said, guys. I said this very, very clearly, and this is one of the problems that Disney has here, is that they confess to their crime, right? They said, okay, yeah, we did this. We know we did this, right? And let me actually want to see, okay, whatever. They're only giving me orange. Fine. Disney admits it first. They said they had a racial quota. They put 50,000. Oh, sorry, 50,000. Still not awake. They put 50%. They put 50% must come from an underrepresented group. Because of that, they are admitting they're doing it. They're saying they're doing it. They're knowingly doing it. They're intentionally doing it. They've put it out there. They've said what that means. They've said they're using race, color, sex, national origin as a motivating factor in its employment practices, not just hiring, but in promotion, termination, training. Disney is a publicly traded company, incorporated under the laws of the state of Delaware. They're a Delaware corporation, with its principal executive offices located at 500 South Buena Vista Street, Burbank, California, 91521. Disney has affirmatively represented to its shareholders, investors, and the SEC that it continues to make employment decisions based on the individual's race, color, national origin, sex. Guys, remember when I said this is going to lead to a flood of litigation? You know what this is going to open them up to? And this is America First Legal signaling in their discrimination lawsuit. They are signaling to shareholders, Nelson Peltz, attention, Nelson Peltz, that if they wanted to bring a shareholder lawsuit alleging that Disney is engaging in illegal practices which are putting undue risk on the company and lowering its stock value, they can go get them for that. They're giving Nelson Peltz a green flag to go in there and get them. They're giving them permission for the SEC to come after them and get them. This is very, very interesting to drop that in there. Disney maintains multiple programs that facilitate the limiting, segregating, or classifying of employees or applicants for employment in new ways in business that would deprive or tend to deprive white, male, or heterosexual individuals of employment, training, promotions because of their race, color, sex, or national origin. Boom, on its face. On its face. Not okay. Disney's Reimagine Tomorrow website showcases a program of unlawful quotas, rebranded in an Orwellian disinformation fashion as diversity, inclusion, and policies. Guys, if George Orwell was alive today, he would be shocked to his core about what's going on. The stated pretext for the company's unlawful conduct is to broaden access and diversity to the industry. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read the sentence. To amplify underrepresented voices and untold stories and champion accurate representation in media and entertainment. Is it accurate representation if you are overrepresenting these groups? That's not accurate. for everybody in a show or 50% of a show to be of those characteristics is not accurate. It's inaccurate. Studio productions, by the end of 2022, they want to be inclusive with the goal of advancing representation in the front and behind the camera. Disney Entertainment encompasses essentially all the content produced by Disney, so the unlawful requirements listed below in Disney's inclusion of standard apply company-wide. It's a company-wide policy. They list different actions in its production that satisfy the inclusion standards, and they can follow illegal quotas for productions ranging from incorporating characters in stories that highlight underrepresented groups, which includes 50% or more of actors and writers and producers and directors. These quotas are applied behind the camera. So 50% of producers, writing staff, 50% of co-producers and below writing staff. Episodic directors, 50%. Meaningful representation. That's also enough. This is a tendency to be discriminatory. That's enough. Promotion of a member of an underrepresented group. That's also enough to sue. Promotion is enough. Substantial year-over-year increase. That's enough. Why are you hiring based on that? You cannot use this as a criteria. And then they go into more patently unlawful race and sex criteria. 50% of line producers and production heads, costume designers, composers, editors, music supervisors, mid-level crew. They also require, this is the one that got me, guys. Look at this. They straight up require, hiring a line producer and production department head that is a member of an underrepresented group. They just straight up require that. They also have paid employment opportunities that only target underrepresented groups. Paid training opportunities, skill development only for underrepresented groups. First job. That is the definition of giving priority for members of underrepresented groups. 50% of outside vendors and contractors. Also, by the way, discriminatory. That's an discriminatory practice, right? And then you've got the FAQ. The FAQ states that the expectation is that inclusion standards will serve as a catalyst for the hiring processes. So they're saying that it's part of their employment practice, their inclusive hiring and employment practice. They're admitting this is something they are already doing. Disney admits this is an example of inclusive hiring and employment practice that is improving access to training and development opportunities for members of underrepresented groups. They admit to a pattern and practice violation in violation of 42 USC 2000. So I'm going to pull up that statute, USC 2000 E2B, right? So let's pull this up. Pull this up, right? So let's look over here. So we want to fact check our lawyers. So we want to make sure we're all checking everything out, making sure everything is all good here. So let's check out this code, right? So let's check out this code. Let's see if America First Legal. Let's do some legal analysis, right? Because God forbid a lawyer does legal analysis. It's such a controversial thing nowadays. Let's check out 42 USC 2000 E-2, unlawful employment practice. So all of these are unlawful employment practices for employers, right? So let's scroll down here to E, right? And by the way, look at this, training programs. It's under D, actually. It shall be an unlawful employment practice for any employer to, employer labor organization or management organization, to give apprenticeship or training, including on-the-job training, to discriminate against any individual because of his race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, and to provide any sort of barrier on admission or employment in an apprenticeship or training. Boom, they're done. Here we go, E2, right, E2. Well, E2, wait, sorry, this is the wrong one. Hold on, let me go back for a second. Let me make sure I'm getting the right one here. E2D, one second. Oh, I had the right one with D. Sorry, I had the right one with D there, guys. Haha, that was the right one. It was a training program. This is the right one right here. So because they engaged in that training program, that's what's impermissible. So because we're under E2, this is D. So because they engaged in training programs that were discriminating based on race, color, sex, national origin, it's unlawful. And guys, this is not, I know some other lawyers get confused, right? I know they get confused. This is not defamation, okay? This is not about defamation. I know it's confusing for some people, right? I know some people, they struggle. They struggle with what cause of action we're talking about here. This is not defamation. This is a labor claim. Labor claims are very straightforward. You do a thing, you're not supposed to do that thing, you're liable. There's no, you don't need criminal intent. This is not CSI, guys. This is not CSI. If you do the thing, you are liable. It's as simple as that. You do the thing, you're liable. You don't need to have this, do they have the mens rea, right? That can make it worse. If they were doing it intentionally, that can make it worse, but they're still liable, civilly liable, if they did this, which they did, right? They clearly did. They openly admit they did. They admit they're doing it. And this is where they're in deep trouble. Let's continue with this letter here, because I want to make sure that we get to this whole letter here as we do this analysis for you guys of the new Disney lawsuit. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button over there on Rumble and on YouTube, wherever you are. Smash that like button if you like this content and you want to see me make more of this type of content. Disney admits engaging in unlawful race and sex-based workplace balancing. So they noted that they were dropping the percentage of white directors. They're increasing the percentage of women. They're increasing the percentage of people of color, of male producers, right? They're decreasing the white male producers. They're actively showing how they are discriminating. Imagine, okay, some people have trouble understanding this. Here's the easiest way to understand this. Let's go down, this is the letter. Let's go down to this graph, right? Here. Imagine if you see this same graph and it sees how it says negative. Imagine if this was showing it the other way. Imagine if instead of more women and less men, it was showing the other thing. What would happen immediately? What would happen immediately? If it was showing that Disney was increasing the number of men, what would happen? We all know what would happen. That'd be a giant lawsuit, massive lawsuit. So that's what I just want to point out here. The fact is that for too long, people have thought, oh, it's okay to discriminate against people if they're white or male. It's not. Just because they haven't been caught, right? Disney may set case precedent. Imagine this. Disney sets case precedent in America. The Disney case becomes case precedent in America for the impermissibility of employment, training, compensation, promotion, hiring, quotas targeted against white men, Christians, and Jews. That would be perfect. If that case goes down in history, if Disney's fate is sealed as the one who was the true discriminating power, they're the ones that were really the discriminatory folks. That would be the true legacy of Disney. That would be a perfect legacy for Disney. And look at this. They've got a grant program here for $25K to financially support underrepresented directors. That's impermissible. That's impermissible, right? It is patently unlawful to consider racial, ethnic, and sex-based characteristics in hiring, training, promotion, and compensation. Decades of case law have held that that's not okay. The Supreme Court has said a benefit provided to some but not to others necessarily advantages the former group at the expense of the latter. It's on its face. It's obvious. By its own public admissions, it appears Disney is knowingly and intentionally violating federal civil rights law. Their employment practices, as described herein, are unlawful. They are also profoundly harmful. Discrimination based on immutable characteristics such as race, color, national origin, or sex generates a feeling of inferiority as to their status in the community and may affect their hearts and minds in a way that is unlikely to ever be undone. More broadly, that discrimination highlighted in this case necessarily foments contention and resentment. It is odious and destructive. I love that word. Odious, such a sexy legal word. It is truly a sordid business, this divvying us up by race or sex. A commissioner charge should be issued here. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Reed Rubenstein, America First Legal. America First League. All right, let me read the super chat here. It's a slide. Says, shout out to Danielle tonight, being well where we are, and she's killing it as your mod. Guys, shout out for this. Shout out for Danielle. Shout out for all my mods. Please smash the like button on this if you like this video. If you're watching this on the replay or even on a clip, because you know this is going to be clip, guys, and you're seeing, hey, this is exactly the road Disney is going down. This is what they have brought upon themselves, ladies and gentlemen. Disney has asking for this. I called this. I predicted this, and we see this coming through here. Once again, going back to it, once again, because I love my I told you so's, just back a week ago, right? This was filed on the 14th. A week ago, I called it. This is going to be the basis for many lawsuits. Boom, right here. It was obvious. It was clear to me then, as clear as day. Why Disney thought to put this out is beyond me, except for sheer hubris. The only reason for putting this in print is sheer hubris. And I am here for the downfall of the rat. We got one dickhead saying they put this in print. Yes, indeed, they put this in print. Absolutely. Would discrimination laws also apply to nonprofit funding of public funds? Yes, Nancy. Oh, yes. Big time. If you are being discriminatory in using public funds and the distribution of public funds, abso-freaking-lutely, it could be. Now we can talk about what some local governments do and other things they do. There are things they try to get away with, and we can get into that. Arslord Doonwriter says, it all relates. RCID had some DEI requirement, third parties. Yes, and remember, one of the first things the CFTOD did, remember this? What is one of the first things the CFTOD did? I'm glad that, by the way, I'm so glad, Doonwriter, I see you hanging out in the other channels, and I appreciate seeing you in the chat and all of you that are in the other chats, because you guys, is this live SU2? You guys are educating these people on the law. A lot of times you guys know more than the panelists on the law, because you're watching my whole streams, you know all the nuance, you guys get all the facts. So sometimes you guys are better than the panelists. I'm not going to say which panelists, but some panelists. You know what I'm talking about. You guys know. So let's see. I think I can just get this real quick. So here we go. I'm going to pull this up from the CFTOD website. So this is the district that replaced Reedy Creek. Look at what we have here. And look at when we had this. This was published, I believe, like months ago. Let me try to get when this date came out. CFTOD abolishes DI. This came out, I believe, in August 11th. August 11th of last year. So August 11th, the CFTOD got rid of this. Look at how this came around. They knew, the CFTOD knew what they were doing was illegal. The CFTOD got rid of the Disney program. This Disney program was being applied, this inclusion standard was being applied to Reedy Creek. Reedy Creek was being forced to do this. And as soon as real lawyers got in there, as soon as real professionals got in there, they immediately got rid of it because they knew it was illegal. They knew it was illegal. And look what they said here. Look what they said. And this is the district administrator. These are the people, by the way, they call this guy Administrator Glenton Gilzean, who, by the way, is African-American, right? They're like, oh, we need DEI, but it only can be woke DEI. Remember, they accuse Disney constantly talks about the CFTOD being corrupt and having problems, but it's all a projection on their own illegal activities. Look what he said. These so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives were advanced during the tenure of the previous board, and they were illegal and simply un-American. Our district will no longer participate in any attempt to divide us by race or advance the notion we are not created equal. As head of the former Central Urban League, a civil rights organization, I can definitively say that our communities thrive only when we work together despite our differences, right? Under our minority business enterprise and disadvantaged business enterprise programs, Reedy Creek routinely awarded contracts based on racially and gender-driven goals on the basis of their owners' race and gender. They had to meet a certain threshold of diversity. To meet these quotas, the district paid millions to find businesses who could comply. Ladies and gentlemen, Florida has been on a quest to purge out what's illegal. This is what the mainstream media has been suppressing about the battle against Disney and Reedy Creek. This is what they want to hide. Disney, the same DEI that they're doing in their big company, they were doing at Reedy Creek. They were forcing upon Reedy Creek. This is a sort of disgusting, nasty, pervasive thing that was purged out, and I am all here for it as a lawyer and as an American that is concerned about justice and true equality. This stuff needed to be purged, and they did that, which is why when people ask, what side am I on? Well, I'm on the side of the law, and the law is on the side of the CFTOD here, particularly regarding this program. So yeah, Interested American says, the unconstitutional hiring practices, could the government file a RICO case against Disney? It seems like a corrupt organization. I'm saying this, Interested American, if you watch I have an old video, I believe I can find it real quick for you on Disney RICO, right? So let me just go see if I can find it real quick. If I can't find it, Danielle will find it. But there's an actual good case for RICO against these guys, right? I did it a while back. It's in my Florida versus Disney playlist, right? So you can get that. But I've talked about racketing and how that can apply to Disney, because Disney is engaged in a scheme, right? It's engaged in a scheme to conduct this illegal activity, and it's building up. We're seeing more and more. The Florida AG can bring this, and this is something I think Florida may eventually bring. My prediction is in 2024, I think we will have some sort of criminal charges that are brought against somebody at former Reedy Creek or at Disney, either or, former Reedy Creek or Disney. So I think RICO is not out of the question, and RICO can reach all the way up to Bob Iger, all the way up to Bob Iger. Josh Kessley said for 10. Well, send a super chat. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you for coming up big. It is perfect. Gremlin said a member chat for a member for 3 months. Said blood is in the water. Here come the lawsuits. They're coming, baby. And Legal Mindset, this channel, we're going to be reporting on all of them. We're going to be following all of them. We're going to follow Florida, the CFTOD's lawsuit, which is still going. The appeal of the federal lawsuit, where Disney lost and they're appealing. That's going to be fun. That's going to be real fun, right? We're going to follow the Gina Carano lawsuit. We're going to follow this lawsuit, the DEI lawsuit. So we've got, just in major lawsuits, we've got 4. We've also got stuff like we've got smaller shareholder lawsuits. We've got, we had the TSG lawsuit, right? Which was the 6th lawsuit, right? That went away and was settled, right? We'll have more lawsuits. More lawsuits are coming here for Disney. This is just par for the course for what they've been doing. Nick Alanian says, sorry for my language, but Disney looks fucked. And by the way, guys, I had one of my commenters say, you curse too much or something. Look, I make an active thought to not curse and what I feel is an excessive amount, but this is my channel and this is an expression of how bad it is. If this was something that wasn't that bad, I wouldn't curse, but it's that bad. It's of that level, right? It's of that level where it's not just, oh, it's kind of a little bad. No, it's fucked, right? That's the appropriate English word for that. That's where we're at, right? Again, I doubt this trial will be televised. It would, depending on where they bring it, right? Depends on where they bring it, right? But probably not. Disney will divert, hide, run, misinform, or anything to keep all of this as quiet as possible, which ironically is what they should have been doing for investors. They should have been, but they're not. They're very negligent and they ignore their investors. They've ignored a lot of their investors. And you know, if they were going to do this, like, it's sort of like the OJ, if I was going to do it, like, if I did it, if you were going to do this, you should have shut up about it, right? If you were going to do it, you should have just done it and not said anything about it. But you had to write it down. You had to actually put it in writing. Like, you had to be dumb enough to put it in writing. And that's what got them screwed. That's what got them screwed. Is that they continued to put this stuff in writing again and again and again and again, right? Okay, I want to pull up the video, and thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate your support of the channel. Appreciate all you guys supporting the channel. Please smash the like button. I actually have 2 videos on the DEI. There's the Bob Iger video, which, you know what? I will play the Bob Iger video again while I'm getting the second video queued up. If anybody has not seen this video, it's an excellent video. This was posted by Chris Rufo over here on X. So let me share this with audio. This is the one I played the other day. Timothy Kennedy sent $5 donation for your cursing jar. Thank you. Thank you. We'll have to start a cursing jar. Like, if you want me to, how about this? How about this? Here's my thing. I will not curse unless it's in the super chat. How about that? How about that? Right. I'll try to keep the F-bombs to only in the super chat. Okay. So here, let's play the Bob clip. Some of you have not seen this. Some of you are claiming I didn't show this. So let me show this again.
Well, I mean, Bob has talked about this eloquently since he's become CEO. I'll say a couple of things about it. You know, we've tended to shy away from politics. And in doing so, I think we've shied away from talking about issues that aren't political at all, like the issues that we're talking about today. because we believe in doing so. Maybe it looks like we're taking a stand. Well, in reality, we should be taking a stand. By the way, I take responsibility for this. I was CEO for 15 years, and so I managed the company's public-facing processes and how we were portraying ourselves. And I think that we have to be less cautious, as Bob, I think, was just alluding to, about such things, and not be concerned. Like just commenting about what happened in Washington last week, that's not political on our part at all. We know that what we saw was fundamentally wrong, and that it was rooted in hatred and disrespect and contempt and intolerance. And we should feel free as a company to comment about that without retribution. And another thing I want to say that I've learned these last 9 to 12 months is, I'm very proud of a lot of the work we've done in terms of diversity and inclusion on screen. When we did Coco, for instance, at Pixar, a great example of that, or Tiana, or of course Black Panther is one of the great examples of that. I
like taking credit for all these things, like Black Panther changed diversity so much. It's a movie, dude. It's a movie.
Allowed those things to make me feel a bit complacent in a sense. It's not that I wanted to be that way, but I thought, wow, we did Black Panther. How great are we?
What a pompous pat on the back. Oh, we did Black Panther. We're so woke. We're so great because we did. No, it's a comic, dude. It's a comic. Like it was a comic property, right? You're so great for like creating a comic property. No, why are you patting yourself on the back? It's so pretentious. Just do it. You know what? And that's what a real racist says. That's how I know Bob Iger. He is internally racist as hell. Like that statement is racist as hell. You just make good stuff and you don't comment on the race of the person. I was just the real racism is to not even mention the race at all. Just be like, that's a good movie, and you don't mention race at all. It's objectively a good movie. Why do you need to mention? Oh, it's such a good movie, and it's because it's black, right? It's so good because there's a black guy. No, because a black woman. No, it's a good movie because it's a good movie. Just leave it at that. That's all you had to say. It's really the most racist view. It's this, right?
And it caused me to not focus as much as I should have on the culture of the company and the environment and in the voices that were telling those stories as opposed to just how they were being portrayed on the screen.
Yes, there you go. There you go. And then you're gonna stop sharing here and let me show you the other video. So this is the other video talking about this one specifically talks about where Bob Chapek announced the company would create a racial quota. Sorry, hold on, I gotta share this one too. This one is the one that talks about Bob Chapek will create a racial quota for charitable giving and spend $1 billion on diverse suppliers, a euphemism for race-based discrimination against white and Asian-led firms. Let's listen to this woman talk about this.
Bob, I'm curious, the other Bob, this is a bit confusing. We all know money talks, and so many companies put funds towards social justice efforts after George Floyd's murder. And we all know—
oh boy, there we go, okay, yeah.
—the impact that COVID has had on Disney's businesses. And yet, I'm wondering what your thinking is in our overall commitment and investment in the social justice space in terms of philanthropy.
Sure. I really think of it, I guess, in two different ways. Number one is the financial commitment that you referenced, Juju. And we're addressing that in a number of different ways. By the end of this year, at least 50% of our charitable giving will be directed to underrepresented communities, including a new program that invests in underserved youth and hopefully helps create a new generation of diverse storytellers and innovators. Also, I just recently approved a plan to ensure that we reach at least $1 billion in annual spend with diverse suppliers, which nearly doubles our current investment with the diverse community.
So that right there is patently, that commitment to quote unquote diverse suppliers, that is patently legal, right? So that part there, yeah. As they define diverse.
And while I think those types of things are really important, I firmly believe that the multiplier effect, the leverage, if you will, that we can have with our content far outreaches and will outlast any check that we can write of any amount. We have more influence through the stories we tell and how we tell them than any check that we can possibly write.
Did you listen to what Bob is saying there? What Bob is saying is we are trying to influence the culture. Do you hear what he's saying? Do you guys listen to this? And by the way, this is why I say Bob Chapek is no angel. And I look, I don't try to, there were back in the day, people were trying to stand for Bob Chapek and all this stuff. I was never that guy. Bob Chapek just was a little less bad than Iger, but they were still into all the same stuff as well, right? So Bob Chapek is saying here that we are 100%, that's what they're saying here, putting messages in that will influence generations. And this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to brainwash your children, and that's worth more than money. That's what Disney is saying right here. He's admitting it. He's confessing it.
And as you saw during the slew of announcements that we made at our Investor Day, we're not only increasing the pace of creating new content, as Bob had mentioned, but also increasing the diversity of creators and themes within that content that Carlos and others have talked about today. And I think it's important to realize that what people see reflected on the screen through our experiences and our work have an impact on how they then see themselves and the people around them. And so our stories have a lot of real impact, probably greater than any of us even probably realize.
That is so much bullshit. I just want to point out here, and sorry guys, I put buck in the swear jar, guys. That makes me mad. That you need to see people, you need to have the modern day politics in your story, or else you won't identify with it. That is crap. That is absolute garbage. Okay? that is 100% crap. I can watch a movie, and regardless of the race of the person, I can identify with the character. I can identify with characters of every background, race, whatever, if it's a good story, if it's a well-written story. Saying it needs to be there is insane, is nuts. And this is exactly the type of thing that poisoned the Disney Corporation. And this is why I say Bob and Bob are drinking the same Kool-Aid. They're drinking the same Kool-Aid. It's slice is funny. If you try to put fuck 10 times in a super chat, they won't let you send it. Really? Interesting. Did not know that. Timothy Kennedy. Bob's idea of culture is mold growing in his shower. Oh, now don't knock old 2-shower Bob like that. I mean, how are you gonna do your buddy like that? Come on. That's rough on old 2-shower Bob. I mean, that's real rough. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, I think I got that one, and then I got to get some Rumble rants. Let me get the Rumble. I pull this over here on this other side. Sorry about that. Just Rumble. Rumble sometimes takes a second, but I got you guys. I got you, homies. All right, here comes a Rumble. We'll start with Rakahora. Late to the stream, catching up at 2X. I know tonight's stream, Disney News, but if you've seen it in the news, America's #1 black woman, Rachel Dolezal, fired for teaching for selling her ebony snack on OnlyFans. Oh boy. Is that true? That is definitely good news. And Raka, I do my general news shows, so that might be a good one to pull up on a general news show. So I'll save that one. Raka says qualified immunity is complicated. Can you extrapolate on that? IMO is entirely un-American and has no constitutional basis. LEOs don't need blanket immunity. That's what I mean, Raka. But what I'm saying is that with law enforcement agents, so qualified immunity is like a blanket immunity for law enforcement officers if certain things are met, right? If that is not pierced. If they're acting outside of their line of duty, then obviously QI doesn't apply. I don't think we need QI, but I think we do need like a standard, like a standard, like maybe a reasonableness standard that's applied to law enforcement and saying, okay, their job necessitates that they do certain things that they may need to do to get their job done. So, for example, I don't agree with like in the wake of the George Floyd case, as we saw Saint Floyd, right? The fentanyl saint of the North, right? Chokeholds, right? It might be necessary to drop a chokehold on somebody at some point. I don't want to say that's necessarily unreasonable. I want to say, okay, it's in the context of law enforcement. If there's an altercation and you need to put somebody in chokehold, put somebody in fucking chokehold, right? Like there should be nothing against that, right? If you're in a fight with somebody and the law says you can't use like a certain move, right? That's obviously not great. Oh, what's up, Ty? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, brother. Ty, go educate your boy on defamation. Anyways, yeah, it is definitely an issue to take stuff off the table. But I think QI can get over abused. QI can certainly be abused. So look, I'm for redoing QI in a different way, like coming up with a different standard. Look, I don't want to come up with one on the fly, but I'm sure we can come up with a better solution that covers law enforcement, because law enforcement does have to do things that normal people don't have to do. So for example, there cannot be a murder trial every single time a cop shoots somebody, right? Or shoots at somebody, right? Attempted murder, right? That would be too much. We have to come up with something that handles that, right? Because otherwise there's a flood of litigation, right? And cops can't do their job, right? It turns into like New York or San Francisco with like the open looting. Casperia says, gosh golly, don't be a beach-going bummer-slammed goof by censoring yourself for others. Dang nabbit, all the hell in a handbasket. Censorship stinks, like so much stuff. No, I'm not censoring myself. I'm just, look, I know that it can sometimes lose its effect, and I don't even want to do it too much, so I don't do it. It's much like I talk about drinking, right? Like, I actually don't like drinking that much. So, for celebration, it's fun. For having a party, it's fun. When you're out hanging out and celebrating. But I don't want to be drinking every single stream. I mentioned that in the chat. For celebration, cool, but not every chat. It's not good for my health. It's not good for anybody's health, right? So, like, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. But other people can do whatever they want with their lives and health and whatever. But yeah, that's just my decision, right? I do what I want to do. If I want to not say something, I don't do it. And there's certain things I want to improve on, and that's one of them. But if you put it in there, I will. If you put a fuck in a super chat, I'm reading it, okay? I'm reading it. Last one, JD Corey says, 2 Bobs, 1 shower. It's just wrong. Yes, it's just wrong. Just wrong. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bob attempted to get Bob in the shower. All right, next we got some here. David Mermaid says, we should call it steer shit as it's been snipped. Okay. All right, it's good. Steer shit. I can't even get that one. Elizabeth Young says, 2 shower Bob. I thought it was 3 showers. Love your content, Andrew. Well, if the other Bob comes into the shower, then it's 3 shower Bob. Because Bob Iger takes 2 showers. And if he adds Bob Chapek into one of those showers, it's the 3 shower Bob, right? 3 shower Bob. All right. Guys, you have made this an awesome episode. We have 800 people in here and only 685 likes. So let's get to 715 more here in the chat. And we will be up to the 700. Appreciate y'all. Real quick. Let's see what we got here. I want to read over. This is a post by my good friend Josh Harris, and he's a guy who works at Disney, worked at Disney, and I want to read because he was let go, had to leave Disney. But I want to read this kind of parable because this is a really good one for folks that love Disney or folks that were working at Disney. And this is kind of a good question of like, where do you draw the line, right? Like, where do you draw the line? So, on the peril of theme park postmodernism, but it's more than that. First, they came for Epcot, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't an Epcot fan. In fact, I mercilessly mocked the Epcot purists for the love of human diversity and ingenuity. Then they came for Pirates of the Caribbean, and I didn't speak out because of my infinite sensitivity. I didn't understand the concept of farce. In fact, I persecuted everyone over 25-year-old, calling them sexist for getting the concept of a joke on the practices of pirates, right? Then they came for the great movie ride, and I didn't speak out because I only watched films that came out in the last decade. In fact, I made absurdly false strawman arguments about people not wanting to accept change for change's sake. Then they came for Jungle Cruise. I didn't speak out because the seemingly authentic depicted African tribes made my lily white world uncomfortable. In fact, I praised them for replacing Africans with silly gorillas because that's not offensive at all. Yeah. Then they came for Splash Mountain. And I didn't speak out because I was an NPC who never watched the source film but knew everything about it. I love the people that were those people, the people that never knew anything about it. In fact, I vilified everyone who came to its defense, calling them complete strangers, racist, and praised myself for whitewashing history. Then they came from Country Bears. And I didn't speak out because anything Southern or rural is automatically distasteful or fair game for replacement. In fact, I'm looking forward to this Country Bear Jamboree under new management, and which is a play on the Tiki Room, and listening to Teddy Barra Let It Go for a millionth time. And now they're threatening to cut the wings of Disney's enchanted Tiki Room. I wonder how much worse things are going to get before people speak up for places they claim they love so much. Because you're utterly naive to think this destruction stops with totem poles, right? They will take and destroy everything. If you let them take it, they will destroy it. You got to speak up, you got to say something. That's why we continue to say something, speak up, and also cover the lawsuits that cover people speaking up on this. So that being said, John Papa Sergio says, can we refer to Disney as movies as struggle sessions? Yes, they are live struggle sessions, which, by the way, are absolutely just tanking left and right, and just absolutely just going nowhere. Going absolutely nowhere, right? Now, of course, Disney's not the only one. I haven't been covering this, but apparently Madam Web is just absolutely tanking as well. But most of these woke movies are just nothing but struggle sessions. That's all they are. It's really funny. So, that being said, guys, man, it's late night here, 11:30 p.m. for you guys. Well, no, early morning here. I gotta get my breakfast. I haven't had my breakfast. I haven't had my coffee. This is pre-coffee mindset. But guys, we are doing fantastic. This channel is killing it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who's here. And I'm gonna do a locals. You know what? I'm gonna do a quick for locals people. I'm gonna do a quick locals exclusive. For locals. So I'm gonna do that. There will be a clip that summarizes this. I know that some people want clips. I see you out there, Nancy. I see you. Other people I see that asking for clips. So I will get those clips out of there for this, so you can distribute this, get this out, get the word out on these new lawsuits, get the word out on the Disney liability, and get the word out there on the right thing under the law. Is This Live says, let's go out with your Gina video one more time for the hell of it. Is This Live? You got it, brother. Let's do it.
A few moments later.